Okay, it's Jaja. Welcome. Heavenly Divine Creator, allow me to be your source. Allow me to be your servant. Allow me to be your girl. I serve an almighty and good God, and my intention is only solely to serve and be a channel for Jesus Christ, the ultimate source, the one and only. Now, what is it essentially that has been going on? And truly, it's an act of self-awakening in a way that reminds you why you love to live. There's a refreshing quality to the air that reminds you of the exhilaration that is available at any given time when you are living in pure actuality of the self, of who you are, of who you've forgotten to be. Now, a lot of that was extricated or extracted through painful experiences that cracked away and burnt at the facade. The very act of questioning the self but remaining integral to the details of who you know yourself to be, as in core principles. Meaning, although the world around you was not reflecting entirely who you felt yourself to be, you knew that you were in control of the details, los detalles, the details of an integral source, managing, organizing, discreetly sifting through, I would say, piles of trash, but I mean, it could be a junk folder, such as unnecessary archives. Painful cracking and a sifting and a ripping and a realization of facets in which did not suit you and did not feel good to you. And how did you recognize that? Well, it showed up in many forms and ways, such as feelings of inner discomfort that may have shown themselves as anxieties, depressions, fears, ruminations. Tracking down the line of our nervous system, it is inherited through the blood line. They say the maternal line reigns supreme as she carries a gene, and I am no scientist. I'm not a scientist, I'm a spiritualist. That is an added gene that the male does not carry, and so we are not dominant as in better, but we pass on more information. So the nervous system is that which interprets outer stimuli as well as innate dispositions of past programming, as you are a replica of everything that's come before you, and so the information comes from somewhere. Cool. Once consciousness is brought to the table, we can rewrite those things as we sift through the archives and or behaviors, feelings, and symptoms of that have brought us discomfort. The challenge is in identifying the discomfort as not your own, as you may have experienced these sensations and or patterns over a lifetime. How do sensations and patterns of a lifetime automatically express themselves as not yours? By first recognizing that you do not like the way you feel. And as of not liking the way you feel, there's an awareness that needs to be brought to the pattern and understanding. And okay, yeah, you know what, I'm experiencing some inner conflict right now as I'm expressing this, because I'm experiencing inner conflict while expressing this, because when a certain emotion that arises within you, but this is me speaking in regard to ancestral patterns in which information has been passed down, such as the replica of nervous system, or the replicas of nervous systems, or pieces in that of woes of who's and when's and how's. And then I'm comparing it to outer, let's say, reflective relationships that may stimulate some of these patterns that were passed down to you that don't belong. Okay, so the inner conflict is me not wanting to admit that maybe someone wants to discard me, let's use myself or you, because of a symptom or a reaction that is happening within them. And so they a feeling or a symptom arises within them, and then they try to cut off their own arm in spite of themselves to get rid of the symptom. Dangerous. All symptoms external to thy are symptoms of awakenings of your origins and the problems and the dilemmas that were never yours. Now, in your interpersonal relationships moving forward, you're experiencing turmoil because there's a conflict in the ways in which your vibrational frequencies is interacting with others and is causing disharmony, and it shouldn't. It should not. And it should not, because it's a habit and a pattern that is being awakened and disturbed that you have yet to discover, to apply, to name, to become, to make it tangible in order to remove it. There's a habit, pattern, something that has been digested or passed on that is behaving, acting as an insertion, a chip, a USB into your system, and is causing haywire in your system within your outer, external, interpersonal relationships that have nothing to do with your bloodline and what you've inherited from that. So there's self-actualization happening through the realizations of turmoils of that does not belong to us. It sounds complicated, but it's a complicated phenomenon that is to give words to. Clearing the path, or clearing the vessel, and clearing the holes, clearing the cup in order to create space for spontaneity is what propels us and projects us into future realities. The ability to let go of pains caused not by the interpersonal relationships that you find external to your bloodline, but to turn around and to revert onto the bloodline and to name, objectify, claim, rename, and remove, so that you are not affected as you move forward and cause confusion on your path. So there's an awakening of the best self for those who have taken the risks, for those who have faced the pains, and those who have conquered their demons in the faces of bravado. And choosing to not accept the discomfort in which has been spoon-fed to you your entire life. There's always someone who wants, their baggage to be carried, and there are those who pay others to do so. And that looks and comes in many shapes and sizes and forms and spirits too. It is not fair of me to cause anyone to carry my baggage, and it is my responsibility to unpack such things. But in that, space is made for the beauty of spontaneity, of action, of life to occur. And I feel totally and completely inspired at this time. And I think it's a good time to really, amp up exclusivity if you can. And amp up exclusivity in the ways in which you manage your spiritual body, and the ways in which you manage your body, and the ways in which you care and love for yourself. There are things that I'm doing every single day to care and amplify myself. And trust me, it's relentless work, but I can't help but say and feel that the results are imminent, and there's an inner excitement and independence and a glow and a love and a zest and a newness that is making me feel quite excited, very excited. And we've overcome a series of events that have really tested our capacity to love ourselves while loving others. We've really been tested with our capacity to hold space for others and for ourselves. And we've really been tested on our ability to hold ground in the face of those who seek to flip the tables and corners in areas in which ultimately were not seen as fit or did not fit. So with my best interest in mind as well as that of others, because my best interest is that of others naturally, because if it's good for you, I'm pray to God it's good for me, and if it's good for me, I pray to God it's good for you. Now, I'm really excited for this new leg of life. And like any spark of inspiration, yeah, the truth is that when you choose to become a channel for the divine, when you choose to become a channel for Christ, when you choose to become a channel for the creative spirit, it's something that occurs unexpectedly, but it's definitely something that you do need to be ready for. But intermittently, the act is of cleansing. The act is of fine-tuning. The act is of refining. The act is of pushing against the self in the name of growth, in the name of self-actualization, with morals and principles intact. And nothing is perfect, and nothing is, done or achieved overnight. But with every intention and with every push forward, a check mark or a point is added, and your efforts are never subdued or lost. trust the path and trust your path and trust your loved ones, the ones that you love and the ones that love you. And be open to what love actually is. Yeah, because love sometimes, you know, the greatest act of love is for you to see yourself in a way that encourages you to grow, to change, to improve. And I think the ones on a spiritual level, for sure, the ones that love you the most are the ones who overall bring you increased strength, that overall bring you, after a ton of healing and releasing of weight, bring you lightness, bring you freedom, bring you healing, and truly an everlasting, lingering feeling of love, of acceptance, of the want and need to be better, to be more, to be exclusively free. And let's pull one. We're at 1651. Let's pull one card from the Mother Peace Tarot. I do have the book here, and so I just want to get a collective message. Okay, that's 3. I just want 1. Thank you, Heavenly Divine, Creator and Source, for using symbolism on paper to communicate with me. Just to tell me a story. It's like a storybook. Once upon a time, not long ago. 6 of Cups. Ooh. This is victory. This is victory. Let's see. Okay, 6 4s. 6 of Cups. All right. The 6 of Cups represents an orgasmic rush of feelings. A wave of ecstasy. Riding the wave into shore, the horses and their riders experience joy and pleasure. A full-out expression of emotional intensity. Cups are held high. Snakes rise like kundalini spiraling up the spine. Yo, this is intense. The riders are getting what they want. Oh, because they found the right spot and then caught the wave. What? This is actually pretty saucy. Oh, hold on. Even if feelings are sad, hold on. The active expression of them provides a release that feels good. There is a mythical, imaginative side to their pleasure. What in the world is this beauty? Maybe it represents an especially nice dream, an orgasmic sexual experience, or a high of spirituality that feels like a leap into blissful nirvana. And yeah, I feel this energy total. Imagination unleashed. These figures easily ride the lavender seahorses. Perhaps some memory of a distant past, like a wave, carries them into the future. Yeah. Yes. I That couldn't have been any more poetic. That couldn't have been any more sexy. That couldn't have been any more juicy. And I don't know how many years I've been sleeping on this card, because let me tell you something. I was picking up a strong sexual energy from the Mother Peace deck, and I've never picked up sexual energy from that, but earlier today I did. And now that I think about it, after reading that, I'm like, yeah, I actually was like kind of like seeing that. But like, yeah, it's also like the sexual energy that helps actualize you, yeah, but through purity. And in my case, that is priority. That is priority for me, because it feels good for me to be intentional. It feels so good for me to be intentional, clear and conscious, and respectful of my vessel, to be respectful of my body. Because look at this energy. I mean, you want to ride the wave together. I mean, that's 6. I mean, I'm going to start counting. Because I think it goes 6 is easy. And let me stop. I'm not bragging. Look at Priestess of Cups. I'm not being fresh. You are. It's not me, it's you. Oh, wait, YouTube? They have a thing about stuff like this, I guess. Oh, dang. All the tetas are out. My bad. Priestess of Cups. Let's read her. So we have more Cups card, and then we're going to wrap it up. What is going on? The Priestess of Cups is all water. She channels feelings and emotions, desires, dreams, and inner visions. She is the archetypal muse. Oh, we on the money. We on the money. One who inspires from within, the anima, or inner female guide and goddess. Yes, we are on point. Her form as mermaid, okay, we're going to continue, is amphibious. She can swim through the deep waters of the unconscious like a fish, and she can breathe air into her lungs and engage in human thought. Furthermore, mermaid is a shortened version of Merry Maid, which is the witch name for Coven's high priestess. Although this priestess may inspire poetry and verse, she does not rely on verbal communication. Okay. In her left hand, she holds a lyre, one of the oldest stringed instruments in the world. Its 7 strings make some of the most beautiful sounds known to human ears. The sounds made by the Priestess of Cups are heard by the whale who circles below her, communing with her on a psychic and musical levels. Do you hear this? She represents the soul, the inner part of the being, which mediates between the spirit world and daily events, the sky and the earth. As in the Zen Quan of the pot in the ocean, the Priestess of Cups represents a vessel where what's outside merges with what's inside. The Priestess of Cups is an enchantress who, like the goddess and her priestesses, fled from patriarchal invaders to sacred, secret islands. Oh, I know those. I remember those. There, behind thickets and brambles, they continued to practice the religion of the goddess. Her fishtail signifies escape by sea, a theme that also arises in the image of the tower. Yeah, I thought I saw the tower back there. In mythology, bewitching high priestesses of the old religion again come to notice. In mythology, bewitching priestesses of the old religion again come to notice when various heroes are drawn to their sacred islands. Drawn to the inner metaphorical island of mother love, the hero seeks out actual islands in the Mediterranean and Adriatic seas, among others. Thus, Odysseus is drawn by the enchantress Calypso to the island of Ogygia, which Robert Graves says was another name for Egypt, where Osiris was called by the same siren. Oh, Ulysses is similarly seduced by the wailing Circle, daughter of Hecate, and stays on her island. Where is this going? For 7 years. All stories on this pattern imply a lapse in the hero's rigidity, a falling back into the loving net of the mother in her form as sea goddess. Okay. In the Mother Peace image, the tower behind the Priestess of Cups represents what Graves would call the oracular island shrine of her sepulchral island. The message of the Priestess of Cups is that the anima calls, the unconscious draws one down into itself. The power of the feminine seduces even after it has been consciously rejected and supposedly overcome. Do you hear this bananas? Like, do you hear? Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. The Priestess of Cups represents Aphrodite, foam-born, sea goddess, who not only communicates with the whale, but takes the shape of the whale goddess who swallows Jonah and every other hero who thinks of escaping the feminine force. When you get this card in a reading, it suggests an inner musing, the gestating consciousness of a mother, the nourishment of the womb. Your thoughts are focused within, your mind engulfed by the power of the imagination. Your emotions are important now. Your feelings and desires central. You may feel spaced out and find it hard to function on the physical plane. Upright, this is a card of mother love and divine inspiration. You are asked to yield to the ocean of collective memory, and experience represented by the unconscious, where something new will soon be conceived. And that's 580. And I'm so friggin' excited. Like, okay, let me stop. Bye. Yeah, I hope you understood that. I hope that serves you well, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.